Ever wonder what really goes on inside a kid's head these days? Well, today we get a chance to find out. We're about to dive into something truly unique, the personal digital archive of a 9-year-old boy. And let me tell you, it's this incredible collection of his dreams, his fears, and his private conversations, and it paints a picture of the modern mind that is just wow. Okay, so let's just start with this. He writes, I had a dream about my dog Gunner was inside my TV and he was talking. My dog ate me, and I saw Gangle's sad mask, and I woke up shaking. I mean, right away, this just pulls you in, doesn't it? It's chaotic, it's personal, and it's absolutely packed with pop culture. This isn't just some weird dream. This is a window, a direct look inside his head. So, where did that come from? It's just one little piece of a really remarkable discovery, the digital archive of a 9-year-old boy named Jaden. And get this, he created it all himself. Through his own, really careful documentation, he's given us this totally unprecedented look at how a kid today actually processes the world around them. Okay, so you're probably asking what's actually in this digital archive. Well, it's everything. We're talking his Google searches, his private notes, super detailed dream logs, and, this is the part that blows my mind, his conversations with an AI. All these little digital pieces, when you put them together, they create this incredible portrait of his inner world. All right, let's start digging. Our little digital archaeology expedition begins in what I think is the most vivid part of this whole archive, his dreams. I mean, this is where the lines between what's real and what's imagined just completely fall apart. And just look at the cast of characters in his dreams. It's wild. You've got SpongeBob and Squidward, Sonic the Hedgehog, characters from the Amazing Digital Circus, but then right alongside them are Mr. Wakefield, his actual speech teacher, and his real-life friends. Oh, and of course the janitor from Baldi's Basics. It's like everyone from his life, YouTube, video games, school, they're all on the same stage inside his head. And here's the thing, he knows it. He's totally aware of what's happening. In his own notes, he writes about how his school becomes this schoolhouse of dreams where all these characters from his favorite stuff come together. He gets that his subconscious is basically this giant mashup of his real life and all the media he's soaking in every day. This is just a perfect example of how his brain takes real life and just twists it. So a fly buzzing around becomes a memory of a fly literally going into his eye in a dream. The stress of a spelling bee, that gets turned into a blue monster giving him a Duolingo lesson. And his dad talking in the other room, suddenly there are dozens of dads in his dream all saying his name. It's an absolutely fascinating look at how the subconscious mind works. But, these crazy dreams aren't just coming out of nowhere. They're not happening in a vacuum. They are being directly fueled by his waking life. Everything from his friends and his fears to the media he's constantly plugged into. So let's ground ourselves in his reality for a second. This timeline shows what he's been going through. You've got normal kid stuff, right? Starting second grade, then third grade. But look closer. There's tooth surgery, which is a big deal for a kid. And then there's this really complicated recurring issue with a bully who used to be his best friend. I mean, these are major, major events that he's trying to process. And this is his world. These are his people. This is his third grade class. And these aren't just names on a list. These are the kids who show up in his life and in his dreams. His best friend Hazel, for example, she's a character in his stories, but she's also the person he goes to when he's dealing with real-life fears. You can just tell the social dynamics here are super complex. And he doesn't shy away from documenting his fears either. I mean, he writes it all down. Some of it is what you'd expect, fear of heights, not liking monkey bars, but then there's some really heavy stuff. Social pressures, like being smacked by another kid, past bullying, including a former friend threatening him with a knife, which is just wow. And on top of all that, his whole school is closing. All of this is creating this constant undercurrent of anxiety, and it's no wonder it all bubbles up in his dreams. So with all this going on, how does a 9-year-old even begin to make sense of it? Well, like so many of us, he turns to the internet. And his Google search history becomes this amazing tool for him, not just for fun, but to actually try and understand his own world and his own feelings. And then you find this search. He Googled, why does my 9-year-old act like a baby? Just let that sink in. It's so powerful, isn't it? He's turning the lens on himself, using the kind of language an adult might use to try and figure himself out. I mean, this is a seriously profound moment of modern-day self-reflection. In that search for understanding, it leads us to maybe the most 21st century part of this entire archive, his relationship with AI. Because for him, it's not just a tool to get answers. It's become a confidant. Right, so he's using an AI, specifically Gemini, as a conversational partner. Think of it like a digital diary that talks back. He tells it everything, his dreams, his friendship problems, his fears, and he uses it to help him connect all the dots. It's pretty remarkable. And what's really amazing is that he has a whole system for this. It's not random. He's got a 4-step method. First, he records the dream. Then he lists out keywords and themes. Third, he actually analyzes it all in a conversation with the AI. And finally, he gets to this point of insight. He even writes that after talking to the AI, he feels a sense of clarity. He's literally using this tech for his own self-discovery, almost like therapy. He even brings the AI into his creative writing. There's this one story where a character asks the AI, "Who are you?" And Gemini replies, "I thought you knew me." And then another character just straight up calls Gemini Jaden's digital best friend. I mean, that tells you everything, right? He sees this technology as a real character in the story of his life. And it's not just about how he uses it now. His thinking about this technology is, well, it's really sophisticated for a 9-year-old. He's not just a user. He's actively thinking about its future and what it could become. Listen to this. He wrote, "I want a model where you know my brain and see memories/experiences/dreams. This model can also tell me the memories/experiences/dreams." This is way beyond a kid just messing around with a chatbot. This is a deep, profound desire for a tool that could help him map out his own consciousness. It's incredible. Okay, so let's step back. What does this all add up to? When you piece together all these different fragments, the dreams, the fears, the Google searches, the chats with an AI, what kind of picture does it paint? Well, if you were to kind of make a map of his mind, it might look something like this. You can see it's this dynamic mix of everything. A big chunk is his dreams and subconscious. Then there's all the media and pop culture, his real life, school, friends, family, his fears and anxieties. And then there's this new, really significant slice of the pie, his conversations with AI. And really, that gets us to the heart of it. What Jaden's archive shows us is a childhood where the lines between what's real, what's imagined, and what's digital have just blurred. It's all one big, complex reality. A character from a YouTube video is just as present, just as real in his dream world as his best friend from class. So when you boil it all down, his consciousness is really being shaped by these 3 powerful forces that are all tangled together. You've got his real-world experiences, school, family, bullying. You've got the non-stop fire hose of digital media, YouTube, games, TV. And now you have this third layer, interactive tech, like AI chats and Google, that lets him process it all as it happens. You know, in a way, Jaden's archive is this accidental autobiography of his inner life. And it leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. Because, let's be honest, we're all creating our own digital archives every single day, with every search we make, every message we send. So, what story will they one day tell us about us?